what's up? So today we're gonna make some ornaments, but cute doesn't always necessarily cut it for all of us, so we're gonna add a little spooky twist to some of our Christmas ornaments. Let's do it. Now if you think about it, spooky has always kind of been a part of Christmas. Now immediately you're going to think Santa Claus and elves and whatever, but there's also things like Ebenezer Scrooge, right? He had to deal with ghosts. And Jack Skellington, you know, the Nightmare Before Christmas. As a matter of fact, that's going to be one of our projects today. Oh, and let's not forget Gremlins. Great Christmas show. Love it. So, this little project was under $10. It's really easy if you're on a tight budget. I got some of these craft foam balls, and like little snowballs, right? We're going to use these to make a couple different kind of ornaments. And for starters, we're just going to draw on the face, because we need a guideline. And Jack Skellington, who is going to be our little model today, has got a really huge smile that just kind of goes across his whole face. And then little teeth. This is just going to be a guideline. Before we start with the burner, it's kind of fun to note, if you screw up on the picture, all you got to do is erase the face. Now, I've mentioned these hot knives before, and if you don't have one, I highly recommend you go get one, because we can use them for just dozens and dozens of different kinds of projects. Once again, with wood or leather, styrofoam, these things work amazing. Having a lot of different tips to choose from is very helpful. In this case, because the ornament is so small, I want something that's pretty sharp and fine, like this guy right here. Now the reason we chose this fine, sharp tip is because once you start burning into this thing, that plastic really just takes off and disappears. It really goes fast. So we're going to carve out his eyes and make his eyes pretty deep. I'm going to give him some depth with the brow. Take out his nose holes. Okay, and then with the mouth, with this being hooked, you can just kind of drag the mouth. Opens that right up there. And then we'll do each individual little tooth. You can see it just kind of starting to come to life already. And we've got a couple of different Jack Skellington facial expressions. Jack's face, in particular, is pretty easy. It's just black and white, right? But we need the black to stick out, because you see from far away, you can barely tell. So obviously, we're going to go ahead and take some black, just regular old acrylic paint, and fill in the inside that we just burned out. Now we're going to use a smaller paintbrush because these holes are not very big. And just go in and fill in everything. We're really going to start giving this guy some depth and dimension. It's going to take a little bit of patience because styrofoam has a lot of little holes. Just take the time to fill them in. And you might need a really fine paintbrush to get the teeth to pop out. But you're going to start getting a little bit of depth in there. And you can see it from a lot further away now. And now you might be saying, Jack Skellington is still just too cute for the tree. Well then, it's really the finishing touches that's going to make this into an ornament. So let's take the idea of an actual skull and carve that out of one of the balls. And the trick behind this is to actually leave stuff like the eyebrows and the top of the nose and whatever out so that it's popping out, and things like the eyes, we'll go ahead and just sink those in real deep, just like we did with the other ones. Burn on out of there. This little part behind the eyes here, we're going to deepen that a little bit. Because on the skull, right, you have this little deep piece here. Bring out that top jaw. This in particular one is not going to have a bottom jaw. So I'm just going to carve all this off. Now with this skull, it's actually okay to leave some of the white in there because that actually gives it the depth, and we don't have to go by the rules of the cartoon over here. So now we have some Santa Claus red fabric. We're just going to cut it into some smaller squares. Because, of course, the finishing touch is going to be a Santa Claus hat. Now you're going to take and glue just along one of the longer sides here. If it's not a perfect square, doesn't matter if it's a square or rectangle. And then you're going to take the one of the corners with the glue, and you're going to pretty much aim it towards the other corner here. Just roll. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here. I'm rolling it into a cone. There. Now this extra little bit that's on the bottom right here, I mean, it looks more like a gnome hat at this time. So we're just going to cut off that little pointy tip on that side. so that it is now just a cone. And now we're going to take the glue along all the inner edge here, and you can put a little more in between the fabric right there if you need to, but just get it right on the outer edge. Glue it to the top. Alright, next, good old cotton balls. Just going to take them, kind of roll them out a little like this. We're going to keep them kind of thick. And we're just going to glue them right along the top of the hat. Because we don't want Jack getting cold, right? Take a cotton ball, cut it in half, kind of shape it, stick right on the end of the hat. So we're going to glue a little ball right on the end of each of these hats. And then we're going to put a dab of glue right on the side of the hat here. Because for some reason Santa Claus just can't keep a straight hat, so, you know, we'll give it a little bit of now. Still, there's something missing off of these Santa Clauses. Of course. So on the skull, not the jacks. Whoops, sorry, bud. Skull. I'm gonna go to the underside here and just put a crazy amount of glue. And instead of keeping it pretty like we did for the hat, a rugged, rough, crazy winter beard. And after a little manipulation and just kind of messing with it and letting it stick to everything, making it real messy, he's a cool looking guy. Just as a finishing fun little touch, we're going to take some gray and just age the beard. I mean, white is pretty aged, but there you go. Now, of course, you can add a beard to Jack too, because he did sometimes have one. But these ones I'm not going to do it to. The skull I did it to. Just a few options. There you go. Quick, fun, definitely cheap, easy way to do a few ornaments. And you could go with a lot of different things. I just did 2, but there's tons of other little fun things you could do with these little foam balls. Add a hook to them, hang them on the tree. Keep it spooky, my crazy friends.